Have you ever wondered what Google's next big Pixel phone might look like before it's even announced? Well, thanks to a leaked prototype of the Pixel 10 Pro, we're getting a very early peek. And it's not just pictures. We've got some real info here. The specs, design changes, and even the default ringtones. Let's break it all down. So, first things first, the Pixel 10 series might be announced on August 13th, and fans are already excited. But what's really new this time? The big upgrade lies in the processor. Unlike past Pixel phones that used Samsung's chips with small changes from Google, the Pixel 10 Pro will come with a brand new chip designed completely by Google. It's called the Tensor G5, and it's built from scratch. Here's the cool part. This chip isn't made by Samsung like before. It's made by Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, which is the world's top chip maker, using a super advanced 3-nanometer process. To be exact, their third-generation 3-nanometer process called N3P. This should make the chip more powerful and energy efficient. Now, a small mistake in the leaked info showed it was made with a 5-nanometer process. But that's just a typo. The real one is 3-nanometer confirmed. Let's talk specs. According to the leak, the Tensor G5 has the following setup. Cortex-X4 core for top performance, 2 Cortex-A725 cores for balance, 3 more Cortex-A725 cores for extra power, and 2 Cortex-A520 cores to save battery on light tasks. The phone in the leaked pictures is a DVT 1.0 model. That stands for Design Verification Test, which basically means it's an early prototype, not the final product. The code name for the chip is Blazer. Kinda cool. This model also packs 16 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. That's more than enough for most people. It's running Android 16, but it's not the quarterly platform release 1 version, which means it's likely a test build. The modem inside is the Exynos 5400 5G modem, the same one used in the Pixel 9 series. That may disappoint some since it's not a new modem, but it still supports strong 5G speeds. Now let's talk design. One of the first things you'll notice is the camera bar on the back. It now stretches closer to the edge of the phone than before. And the metal frame surrounding the rear glass looks thinner. The camera bump itself looks slightly thicker, so expect it to stand out more. Another small change is the SIM card tray. In the Pixel 6 Pro, it was at the bottom left. Now, in the Pixel 10 Pro prototype, it has moved to the top left side. Not a major deal, but interesting to see how the design has evolved. And here's something fun. The default ringtones and sounds have also leaked. Is Apple really changing everything except the iPhone name? It sounds like a big shift is coming at Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference this year, and while their software is getting a major rebrand, the iPhone 17 may not follow the same path. Let's break down what's changing, what's staying the same, and why Apple isn't ready to call the next iPhone. The iPhone 26. Every year, Apple makes headlines during its Worldwide Developers Conference, usually held in June. And this time, something different is expected. According to well-known industry insider Mark Gurman, Apple plans to rename its operating systems starting this year. That means iOS, macOS, iPadOS, and visionOS will begin to use numbers based on the year they release, similar to how car companies name their new models. So for example, instead of iOS 18, we might see iOS 25 for 2025, the right. Idea behind this is partly marketing. Numbering software after the year makes it sound more futuristic and new, even if the actual update isn't very big. It also gives Apple a bit more room to push out smaller changes without people feeling disappointed. But here's the twist. This change won't apply to the iPhone 17. That's right. While Apple might call its new iPhone software something, like iOS 25, the phone itself will still be called the iPhone 17, not the iPhone 26. Now you might be wondering, why not just match the names? Samsung did that back in 2020 when it skipped from the Galaxy S10 straight to the Galaxy S20 to match the year. So what's stopping Apple? According to Gurman, there are a couple of big reasons. First, Apple knows how attached people are to the iPhone's naming. It's simple, it's familiar, and changing it now could confuse or even annoy a lot of customers. Second, Tying the phone name to a specific year might not be a good idea in the long run. Imagine you're buying an iPhone 23 in 2026. Just hearing the name would make it sound old, even if the phone itself is still really good. Apple doesn't want that kind of thinking to hurt sales. It's all about perception. This move also helps Apple separate its hardware and software updates more clearly. By making the software feel fresh and futuristic, Apple can create excitement, even if the iPhone itself doesn't get a huge change. And speaking of changes, we do know a few things about the upcoming iPhone 17 series. Most models are expected to come with 12 GB of RAM, except maybe the base version. That's a nice boost for performance and multitasking. Design changes are also likely, though details are still under wraps. But what's even more interesting is that Apple's new software might look and feel a lot more like Vision OS, the operating system built for the Apple Vision Pro headset. Is Google about to shake things up with the Pixel 10? It's looking that way. For years, Google released its Pixel phones in October, but that timing didn't work out well. Why? Because Apple always drops its new iPhones in September. By the time Google revealed the latest Pixel, many users had already picked up a new iPhone. So last year, Google changed the plan and released the Pixel 9 in August, just before Apple's big reveal. Now it looks like Google is getting ready to move, even faster. Some fans in the UK who are part of the Pixel Superfans group just received a special invitation from Google. It's called the Pixel Penthouse event, and it's happening in London on June 27th. This event is being called an exclusive pre-launch experience for 2025, and it's a big hint that the Pixel 10 might arrive earlier than expected. The ETC Bomb event will last 90 minutes and only 25 lucky fans will be allowed to attend. They'll get a hands-on look at pre-release Pixel devices, discover new features, and walk away with some Pixel-themed goodies. To decide who gets to attend, Google has asked some personal questions to the selected superfans. These include things like, what's your favorite Pixel feature and why? What does being a Pixel superfan mean to you? And, is there anything we can do to make your Pixel upgrade more special? Fans need to answer these questions and submit their responses. The winners will be announced on June 11th. But the event isn't just about fan appreciation. The timing lines up perfectly with another major launch, Android 16. The latest version of Android is expected to be released in early June, and Google typically likes to launch new Pixel phones with a fresh Android update. This makes it very likely that we could see the Pixel 10 series launch in late June or early July, much earlier than in previous years. And there's more to get excited about. The Pixel 10 is expected to run on a brand new Tensor G5 chip. What's different about this one? It's the first Tensor chip made by TSMC, not Samsung Foundry. That's a big deal because all previous Tensor processors were based on Samsung's Exynos design, which came with some limitations. But now, Google has designed the G5 from scratch, allowing them to tailor the chip exactly the way they want. This opens up the door for new features and better performance, especially since the chip will be built on TSMC's second-generation 3nm process known as N3E. This switch to TSMC could be a game-changer. TSMC is widely seen as the industry leader in chip manufacturing, with customers like Apple and AMD relying on their advanced technology. With the Tensor G5, Google could finally offer a processor that truly competes with the best chips in the market, while also unlocking more exclusive software experiences for Pixel users. If you're in the United States and want to be part of the Pixel Superfan program, you can still sign up.